around the world and across Nigeria. If you just joined us, this is still Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television. Let's get to our main conversation for this morning. And following the Confederation of African Football's CAF ruling to award Nigeria's Super Eagles 3 points and 3 goals due to mistreatment in Libya, reports indicate a surge in arrests of Nigerians in the country.
The Super Eagles have been detained at Al-Abrak Airport for over 20 hours en route in Africa Cup of Nations qualifier. The CAF Disciplinary Committee fined the Libyan Football Federation LFF $50,000, leading to backlash among Libyans.
Nigerians in Libya, regardless of legal status, have reportedly faced arrest since the ruling. Emmanuel Adenaike, a Nigerian in Tripoli, described the rise in hostilities, while Peter Omoregbe, head of the Nigerian community, confirmed that authorities have been targeting Nigerians indiscriminately, even if they hold a valid passport and permits.
Moving on, Omoregbe expressed concerns for community safety and called for international intervention. Other Nigerians, like Omoba Legba, reported warnings to stay indoors due to intensified police actions.
Community leaders are urging the Nigerian government to take protective measure for citizens amid escalating fears. Videos on social media show Nigerians pleading to be distanced from the CAF dispute as diplomatic options appear very limited. Doing this and having a conversation today, we have virtually Charles Idehu. He is a journalist and public affairs communicator. Good morning to you, Charles, and welcome to Enterprise Morning today.
Good morning, Charles.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so very much. And also we have on the other side too, virtually, Fred Nzako, attorney at law and development economist. Good morning to you, barrister.
Good morning, barrister.
Good morning.
Thank you so very much for your time. So I would love to start this conversation with you, barrister Fred. And before we get into the main gist here, of course, which is Nigerians, what they are facing in Tripoli and Libya in its entirety, I'd love you to speak to the issue of the CAF ruling. Do you think it is just? Let's start from there.
And of course, the ruling by CAF is just and expected because the mistreatment that Nigerians receive in Libya should not go unnoticed and should not go without any sanction. And of course, we don't expect the players to deliver their best in the circumstances that they found themselves in Libya. And not only Nigerians have raised a cry, the international community, the international football community has raised a lot of issues regarding such mistreatment, because football is a global game. And if something is not done, if no action is taken against Libya Football Federation, then it will stunt the growth of football in Africa. Because that even in Africa has one of the least football growth on account of the fact that many countries no longer pay good attention to the development of the football of the game. But when there is unnecessary politics in the game, it stunts the growth. And this is one of the politics that should not be allowed to take place. The Libyans had no business to mistreat the Nigerian team the way they did, and they had no justifiable reason to do so. So I expected that there should be such sanction, and that such sanction is in the right order. And the sanction that will be there is the one that will them at the roots of their small chart and ensure that Nigeria does not go without such a pacification which has been handed down.
Okay.
Thank you so very much.
Yeah, thank you, Barrister Fred. Charles, we see the ambassador to Nigeria in Libya is doing a good job in the way the Nigerian citizens are being treated. And can we say also that our government and the way they treat us is actually giving the Libyans the power to actually treat Nigerians the way they are doing currently in Libya?
Okay, two questions in one. Let me attempt to untie them. One is whether the ambassador is doing right or is doing what is right or doing well in this matter. But again, I think it's too early to say because this latest, well, I think our colleague xenophobia actually started on Saturday night. Yeah, according to those reports, went into yesterday. Today's Monday. So in diplomatic circle, you don't just take. You don't just take immediate action. You have to look at remote causes, look at all the causes before you can come up with a position, either a release or a statement. So I personally want to wait maybe midday today what the statement or release of the Nigerian authorities to be, even the one that is led by Abike Dabiri. I've also not heard from them. So as I said, I want to wait the either midday or the end of work today to know what we're going to do. Again, you also look at it, even over there in Tripoli, where the Nigerian embassy is domiciled. The embassy is not or the ambassadors or the officials, the other officials are not omnipresent. They are not everywhere at the same time. All right. So it's when cases are brought to them, you don't just ask them to rush into a conclusion. So there are processes that be put in place, which of course is part of the global best practice and practices that we have to look at. So yes, I know it's emotional because back when they were emotional, were sentimental, but I think they have every cause to wade in, and also not that they should not follow even the laid down procedures when it has to do with, as I said, the way that diplomatic circles they all relate, and also. But let's just wait till the end of today to see what they are going to talk about, whether they're going to bring out a release or a press statement.
All right, thank you so very much. Barrister Fred, my beginning question actually was on whether it was just. And the reason I asked that was because as a development economist who understands cause and effect, and also a lawyer, do you think that conflict resolution such as this would have been avoided by CAF in a more subtle way that makes both countries, feel fair in its resolution? Of course, the avalanche effect is what we're seeing now on innocent Nigerians. So do you think that that non-proper conflict resolution was not put in place, which has led to the problem today?
Well, I don't think the issue has to do with the conflict resolution mechanism. What I mean, the xenophobic attack on Nigerians has not to do with conflict resolution mechanism. And I understand that Nigerians are being arrested even when they have done nothing. The fact that you are a Nigerian, you'll be arrested and then taken to the authorities for interrogation and for questioning. What it simply means is that the authorities in Libya are not playing their correct role as African brothers. This time around, it is not from the citizenry. It is from the authorities. Of course, the police institution in Libya is doing what they should not be doing. And what it means is that the African Union has to be activated immediately so as to avoid bilateral tension between Nigeria and Libya. Because it is very wrong to take it out on Nigerian citizens who have no hand at all in whatever that went wrong between the two football bodies, the Nigerian Football Federation and Libya Football Federation, and any other person in the grade. The citizens have no business with that. So, and this is football. It is a game of tolerance. So we don't expect that something that occurred from such a game of tolerance, which FIFA has always been preaching. And I believe that CAF should also join in preaching tolerance in football, in and out of the pitch. So if politics is now overriding the integrity of Libyan authorities, to the extent that they will be arresting Nigerians, then that should be from them. Because if the citizens themselves, if ordinary Libyan citizens are the ones attacking Nigerians, like we saw in South Africa some years back, then you can now say that the government's role is to stop such an attack. The way the attack is coming from government institutions, there is not for more serious action by African Union. I don't think it's a matter of the fact that CAF would have done it in another way, because What CAF needed to do is what they did. The whole idea of sanction was to send a very strong message to football entities that football is a global game, and unnecessary political should not bring the ball into footballing competitions.
Okay, thank you, Barrister. I would have asked you this question, but let me move it to Charles. Charles, now, if we should go back a few years back when, if we should go back memory lane when the South Africans actually were really brutal to Nigerians, and Barrister mentioned the comment, he actually stated something that this torture is coming from government entities. That means serious actions should be laid out. Now, can we say the Libyans are banking on the previous attack that South Africans meted out on Nigerians and nothing was done, and it's actually giving them the strength to feel what they are currently, the action they're currently taking on Nigerians? Assuming it was handled differently on the South Africans, would it have an effect on how Nigerians are being treated today, using what is happening with CAF as a leverage to melt out hostile actions on Nigerians in Libya?
Okay, well, xenophobia is xenophobia anywhere where we have it has only one color. The color of xenophobia is that you discriminate against other people, even those who are even legally living in your own country. Xenophobia has just one color. Whether it happens in South Africa, whether it happens in Libya, whether it happens elsewhere on the surface of the earth. But I don't think remotely that the xenophobia that is happening in Libya now has any connection to that which happened in the past in South Africa, because the scenarios are different, the reasons are different. If you look at the one for in South Africa, that has to do with economy, totally economy. That Nigerians are coming there, they're snatching their jobs. Nigerians are coming there, they're also, lording over them, snatching their women. You know how we are in Nigeria back home. We spend a lot on women. So when Nigerians travel abroad, they export those traits to other places. They don't mind. They can even play cards because they have it. I mean, Nigerians are very hardworking. Whenever they get anywhere, they do well, so they have money to spend. So that's different from this ones in Libya. If you look at the history of the Maghreb region, of course, of which Libya is part, that's the Sahel region over there. You see that the way they treat not just Nigerian, they treat Black Africans, those who are South Africans, as if we are second citizens. So it's class differences. Is the issue of racism. Racism, they feel that, that's why you see that even in Asia, when they go over there, Asia, you find that those one in the Maghreb region, they tend to have a more affinity to the Arab League than having any affinity to the EU or to the AU. So they feel that they are more superior. They look at them, they look at the color of their skin, they are white, we are black, and then they look at us as inferior to them.
But
so
Charles,
what is happening there now is
Charles, I wanted to differ on this, especially if it were an African American, right, with a United States passport. Sure. Do you think the same way the Libyans would treat such African Americans will be the same way they will treat Nigerians? Because we're talking about economic and diplomatic prowess here.
No, they won't treat African American. African American is not Nigerian, it's not an African.
Yeah, but it still has a black color. The melanin is still black.
No, what you also have the almighty America. You know how they fight for their own. If you pinch the skin of any American anywhere in the whole world, the government of America will come after you. It's not the same. It's not the same in Africa. Nigeria also. I also quite agree with the other lady there that. We do not seem to treat our own people with special recognition, with special. As I said, now we don't even look at ourselves as Nigerians as even people to be respected. But again, when you say African American, it's different from Nigerian. Okay, so here we are talking about Africans who are domiciled in African, who have no other nationality attached to it, because in that one you compounded it. It's compounded African American. So it's first of all an American before it issues the African. So we are Nigerians. So as I said, you look at it. Go and do your history. There's this history, the history of the Maghreb region. You know, the only thing, what they say over there, okay, let me give you, when I had something to do with Dubai for 4 years, there is this one, the press where I had the printing press where I had dealings with that time. Their manager is an Egyptian, all right? So, it was very white Egyptian. Sometimes when we're together, they say, Charles, see your brother. So the man will laugh, say, oh, we bring our arms together, say, Charles, see your.
Okay, I think we're having a
little network glitch there. I don't know if Red and Zach or Barrister Fred is there.
So, yes. So love to.
Yeah.
Okay, Barrister Fred, you mentioned something about taking some actions, and you should.
Okay, I think it's back.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Yeah, you can go on.
Okay, hear you. Okay, I think we're still having a bit of challenge there, network and so on. Barrister Fred, I would love to ask you this. I think it's very, very important because...
Yeah, so in terms of culture, in terms of trade, everything, you bring two of us together. So they only see us as different. We say we are not. That's exactly how they treat us. We are treating Nigerians in Libya right now.
Okay, thank you so much. Barrister Fred, let me ask you this last question. If this is not well handled, especially if our government don't speak up and actually maybe use Libyans as an example to actually teach other countries how to treat Nigerians, how far do you see this going in the coming years? Because a few years back we witnessed that of South Africa, and I don't think any action was actually taken or any penalty, and now Libyans are actually taking the lead this time. What is the best way to handle this? And as a government, what are the measures they should put in place so that Nigerians are not dehumanized anymore whenever or wherever they find themselves?
Yes, the first thing the government should do is to raise a red flag and warn the Libyan authorities against mistreating Nigerians. And that is by calling the Libyan ambassador to Nigeria, and then deliver such message to such ambassador, and then the ambassador should get in touch with their own country, and then deliver such a very strong message. The second option is to have a diplomatic shuttle between the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Libyan authorities, such that the authorities should know in Libya that Nigeria does not feel comfortable with the mistreatment of Nigerian citizens. And they should be told in very clear terms that football is a game, is a game, not like two young children playing. You don't get to interfere if they are playing in the sun. And when two teams are playing, it doesn't come up. It shouldn't have the diplomatic relationship. Economics is not involved in this matter. It's just unnecessary emotional sentimentalism, which I agree with us that have been anchored on a certain feeling, whether correctly or wrongly, of ego and the security complex. And then the third line of action is to get in the African Union, because if this is not meeting the ball, it could lead to a diplomatic row between Nigeria and Libya. And there could be diplomatic tensions which both countries do not need at this point in time. Libya is a very unstable country, and Nigeria too is a very unstable country. Both countries do not need further instability in their politics. And then finally, it is also a very big lesson for Nigeria that the way you treat your citizens is a reflection of the way they will be treated outside. That is a very strong point that we must drive home to our own leaders. Just last week, we saw the whole world saw the shame and the ignominy which oozed out from the courts in Abuja, where little children that are teenagers were arraigned on terrorism charge, which the whole world now cried out loud and said, how could Nigeria be so inhumane? Why could Nigerian police authorities be that inhumane? So if Nigerian police authorities will treat Nigerian children in such very terrible manner, then how would you expect Libyan police authorities to treat Nigerian adults? So we must learn a very big lesson from there and ensure that we hold our own citizens in very high esteem And just like Charles said, that if you put the skin of an American, America will come against you. But even when you tie a bundle of Nigerians and throw them into the ocean, nobody asks questions. Such narrative must change, and Nigerians' life must matter any part of the world. And going forward, we must ensure that we treat our citizens well, so that others will treat our citizens equally well.
All right, beautiful. Charles, just to wrap up this, I'd love to ask you this, though it's on another vantage point. Abike Dabiri has been there for quite some time. Do you think she is good enough to continue with that particular job, or do we need someone better, to add to what she has done already in protecting Nigerians in diaspora?
Well, Abike Dabiri has done well, by my own estimation. This thing is not easy. We also need continuity. People who understand the terrain very well to continue from what they've been doing. Changing hands sometimes bringing stability to policy implementation. So I believe that Abike Dabiri, I think she started from the House Committee on Diaspora. From there, she became the I don't know what nomenclature her position is. But I think, but sometimes emotions run high on her when people attack her. She seems not to be able to stem the right of movement. But on the face value, I think she has done well. I think continuity will help to stabilize it, because she's also made friends. She's also been able to build a very strong and effective network that has also helped her. So bringing somebody else start now building again. So I think she still has age on her side. Since it's not a job that is tenured, I think for me she should still be left there for a couple of years. Whoever is there who are popping up to take over from her, she'll begin to learn the ropes, and then also we'll find a way to groom that person to be able to take a cue from what she's doing. But for now, as I said, by my own reckoning, I think she's done well. She's still doing well.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much.
Barrister Fred,
yes.
Let's just get your pattern shot, please. Just in 30 seconds.
Well, Africa must know that to build a united Africa that will stand tall in the community of world continents, we must take away unnecessary emotions and sentiments and treat ourselves as brothers, so that internally we can grow as a continent, and then ensure that our people interact in the manner that they will see themselves as Africans, and not with this kind of segregation that leads to unnecessary tension, even in the field of play.
Okay.
Thank you so very much. And this cannot be, said better. And of course, it still boils down to the fact that the way you treat your citizens, it's directly proportional to the way other people would treat you. That's just about the time we have for our show today. Love to say thank you to you, Barrister Fred, for being part of our show. Charles Sidaho, thank you so very much. We truly do appreciate your time. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you so very much, sir. All right, so that's just about the time and the size of our package today. We'd love to say thank you to you. You've streamed, you've watched, wherever you've done that around the world. We want to say thank you, and we truly appreciate you. But please do well to visit us. You can always find us at enterprisetvnews.com. You may like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. I am Henry Igwebike. Thank you.
And I'm Choma Okoye.
We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye.